Yo, Ganali. Welcome everyone.
So could you hear that all right?
Yeah, do you sound good? We're recording now and we're starting. Do you want to share your song first or do you want me to share mine first?
Oh, okay. Um, if you want to share anything that you want beforehand, that would be good.
Okay. I just want to thank everybody for coming today and singing with us and singing to these wounded mountains and to the storm wounds that I'm still feeling as well. Grateful for this opportunity to heal together in community and to sing together in community and to be together again. Always so grateful to be in these community gatherings where we can share our voice and our heart and our coming in and just share where we are at this point in time. I'll ask you all to quickly call in your ancestors and your water. And I'll lead in example. Pliga Kawesque, Dancing Heron, Dances with Death, Call Miguel, and Wayumi Ganaita Takayosti on our sacred mountain Aragu, which means helping many people. And Pamela, will you call in your land and water, please?
I'm Pamela. I live in Ottawa, which is in the Ottawa River watershed, which is the traditional lands of the Algonquin people. And the river, the Ottawa River, is also, by them, it's called the Kitchissippi.
Thank you, Pamela. SD, will you call in your ancestors and your river basin, your water and land, please?
Yes, I am SD Youngwolf of the Tsalagi and Nadagi people, otherwise known as the Texas Cherokee. I am in my home near the Rio Grande River and Taos Mountain, at the foot of which is Taos Pueblo in the land of northern New Mexico.
Thank you, SD. Tracy, will you call in your land and water, please?
Yes, good morning. I'm Tracy from Southeast Australia in Victoria, and I'm in the Far East there on the mighty Mitchell River, and I'm calling in the land of the Gunai Kurnai people.
Thank you, Tracy. Sylvia, will you call in your land and water basin, please?
I am Sylvia Woombeing of the Forest. I currently am in between Alum Creek and the Scioto and Olentangy rivers on the ancestral lands of the Hopewell, Shawnee, Adena, and other mound building peoples. And I honor my relatives, the beavers, the bear, the maple trees.
Thank you, Sylvia. DL, will you call in your river basin and the original inhabitants of the land you're on, please? Oh, we can't hear you. Can you unmute? Can you try again? Pamela, you may need to ask her to unmute. Just a minute. We'll try to get you. We've been having this problem with Zoom though.
Work.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, now let's try.
Okay, because I had it hooked to an external speaker, but that usually doesn't affect my microphone.
You're good now.
But Sylvia, your Alum Creek isn't West Virginia, is it? Okay. And it's difficult
Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, because I knew you were close with saying Shawnee and Mounds and Hopewell, because it is basically West Virginia is where many indigenous went to both hunt and hide. No permanent settlements, a lot of indications and names, indigenous names. But it's kind of a long, sad tale of what happened after the colonial settlers came to these mountains. But of course, I am the only state wholly encompassed within the Appalachian Mountains, which here have been ravaged by first coal extraction and now fracked gas. There's always been some, gas activity. And I'm not sure what you call the river basin, because my home is the New River, which is the oldest river on this continent and is now a national park, the New River National Gorge, that is
Yeah.
a beautiful river that becomes the river through the Chemical Valley with an indigenous name, the Kanawha River, which then flows into the Ohio, which is one of our dirtiest rivers.
Thank you, dear.
I'm not sure what you would call that river basin, but we have some beautiful, beautiful creeks and rivers and runs that flow into the Kanawha River, which is right outside where I live now.
That's probably your basin. Yeah, thank you. Christine, will you call in your river basin and your original inhabitants of the land you're on, please? Christine, are you able to unmute and call in your river basin? Okay, we'll catch you later. We'll give you a moment to come into sync and catch you later. We are up there. Are you coming? Yeah, there you are. Great. That's good. That's good. All good.
So, it's interesting because I live in Missoula, Montana, which is a hub of 5 valleys, and it's also a place where 3 rivers converge, which is pretty wild. But those rivers converge. It's the Clark Fork, the Blackfoot, and the Bitterroot, and it's part of the Columbia River Greater Watershed. So I feel like it's pretty special because all of those rivers have their own paths and their own struggles and stuff. And this place was a gathering place for a lot of Indian nations for trade. And of course, they used those rivers as navigation corridors to get to different places. So it's kind of an honor and a privilege to be part of that. There's a lot of energy here because of that.
Yeah, thank you. That's beautiful. And I got firsthand experience of why our villages were at the confluence of 2 or 3 rivers instead of in the flatlands that the feng shui says is the best energy of wind and water. It's because the landslides land in those flat spots, and they are also the fertile valleys for growing crops in what is still experimentally the civilization that we are experimenting with. We haven't quite gotten it yet, but it
Thank you
became
for that
clear.
information. That means a lot because, this was Glacial Lake, Missoula, right? So it used to be called the Garden City. And
Yeah.
with development, because everyone wants to live here, it's taken away a lot of that land and they're paving the fertile ground. And it's really not sitting well with me or a lot of other people.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see these things firsthand. So that can be a very, very traumatic awakening to the natural laws and the natural ways of Indigenous people. And on that note, we're going to go to SD Youngwolf, who's going to teach us to sing the Tsalagi song that was sung on the Trail of Tears at this time. And tell us a little bit about his experience of that and also his passion of decolonization. And we're going to try to decolonize this song as much as we can and the words to it, however we can do that. But Esty, if you want to put those words in the chat so that everyone can sing along with you in this song, or I think I can send them to Pamela and she can do that while you're singing the song. How's that
Right.
sound?
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Great.
So anyway, as an introduction, the Trail of Tears. Most everybody knows this, but maybe some don't. It was 1838 and 39 when the Cherokee of the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina were all dispossessed of their lands and marched west. It's called the Trail Where They Cried. It was about 1,000 miles that 1 out of 4 died on the Trail of Tears. And my ancestor, Clagashe, was chief. He was Cherokee chief, but he and his people left before the Trail of Tears ever happened and settled in what is now Texas, was at that time Mexico. But a lot of our relatives walked the Trail of Tears. And they had been Christianized, and that's why they and the other tribes of the Southeast were called the civilized tribes. So this is a song that they sang on the Trail of Tears. Should I go ahead or should I wait until the words are up?
They're up. Yeah, whenever
Okay,
you want to go.
Squa se Yahowa elitika esune Siwana gati yuhai gatlini kitine skistaliski nigo hela watita skistaliski nigo hela watita skotine se Yahowa elitika esone Jiwana gati yuhai gatlini gitine skistaliski nigo hela watita skistaliski nigo hela watita skotine se Yahowa elitika esone Jiwana gati yuhai gatlini itine skistaliski nigo hela watita skistaliski nigo hela watita skotine se Yahowa elitika esone Jiwana gati yuhai gatlini kitine skistaliski nigo hela watita skistaliski nigo hela watita skotine se Yahowa elitika esone Jiwana gati yuhai gatlini kitine skistaliski nigo hela
you, SD.
Mm.
It's a sweet song. It's very interesting to me that when I first heard that song, it was deep in my bones. The ancestors sit in our bones, and though it was never safe or legal to sing it when I was a child,
Oh.
it wasn't until I was in college when the Religious Freedoms Act of 1978 passed that we could experience our language in any way.
Mhm.
So that is pretty important to me. And I don't know if you wanna talk about what those words are. To me, they're guidance. They're asking for guidance and protection in our original language, reaching back before the influence of the intrusion. Our prayers were for health and health, and so these songs translate as asking for help. And like as we mentioned before, the words have been Christianized and changed over the years, and that was for the protection of the people as well. It wasn't safe to translate them into our original language, which asked our ancestors for help and health. And we thought if we had good help, we could handle anything, we could do anything with help and health. And still think that. And our prayers are for gratitude, for expressing our gratitude. And so some of those words are about gratitude, because what we're grateful for remains in our life. So to me, the song is asking for protection, guidance, help, and health, and expressing gratitude so that those things will be available. But my people didn't walk the Trail of Tears. We're the people who hid in the mountains to resist the Trail of Tears. And we were not Christianized. My father made certain that I did not get Christianized in my upbringing, and I'm very grateful for that. That's part of what's allowed me to stay with the teachings of my three grandmothers of the ancient ones, going back to the original village on our sacred mountain here. So SD, if you want to share any more, or if you want to sing that song real slow so that everybody can join in and sing with you, either.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll say a little bit beforehand and talk about the words. Well, there was a man named Tsalagi who, when the soldiers were rounding up the Cherokee, they would round them up and put them in corrals before they were marched west. And it was under the direction of General Winfield Scott. And there was a man named Tsalagi who, when the soldiers came to his farm high in the mountains and told them they had to leave, one of the soldiers poked his wife with a bayonet. And he said to his sons in Cherokee, let's turn on these soldiers. This is not right. And so they did. And when they did that, a gun went off and one of the soldiers was killed. And so Charlie and his family went and they hid in the thickets and caves of the mountains. And the general sent someone to find him and take the message that if he would come in and give himself up, that he wouldn't round up the other Cherokees that he knew were hiding. And that's why today there is an Eastern Band, because they're the descendants of those who hid. And later on, they were able to raise funds to get some of their land back, and so that and live there to this day. but they put Sally in front of a firing squad. And he gave his life for his people. And his last wish was that his grandson would stay behind in the land of his ancestors and not go beyond the Father of Waters or the Mississippi. So presumably they are still there to this day. So the meaning of the song, the words mean, guide me, Jehovah, as I am walking. I am weak, but you are strong. Always, always help us. When I step on the banks of the Jordan River in a peaceful way, may we cross. Help us, stop my worrying. Always, always, I will sing to you.
Hmm. So we want to play it real slow, just a
Okay.
few times, maybe 4 times, and we can all sing along, and then we'll go on to the next song. Everybody unmute and sing together if you want to.
Squatine se Jehovah elitika esone chiwanaga tiuhai kaslini Yehovah elitika esone jiwana katiyu hai katlini gitine skistaliski skistaliski Ego hey lawatita skistali skistali Ego hey lawatita. One more time. Trine say Jehovah elitika esone chiwana katiyuai katlini skistali skistali Ego hey skistali skistali Ego hey
Thank you so much, SD. You're beautiful to be able to sing that in community. Thank you all for joining in too, and we'll balance the ways that were necessary at those times with the song that came to me from the dream world that I placed in the event, and Pamela will put those words in the chat. Did you want to say anything more before we go on, SD?
Well, I wanted to say a little bit about the relationship, but I can go after your song maybe.
Okay.
Because I didn't get to talk about relationship last time, and that was our subject.
Yeah, in Walking in the Moonlight, but we are going to do that subject again on the 12th.
Oh, good.
You're welcome to join us at that time, Walking in the
Mhm.
Moonlight with the full moon and the Earthstalk
Mhm.
Wisdom Council on the 12th of November.
Okay.
So I will move to the folds of mountains and ask Pamela to play that song and put the words in the chat, and ask you all to look at how closely this song follows the devastation that we have encountered on this sacred mountain and in our sacred homeland from the Hurricane Helene, because it speaks directly to that storm, and it was generally 3 or 4 years ago. That's how the dream world works. It guides us towards what is to come and takes into account our opportunity to choose along the way. So, Pamela, if you'll put those words in the chat and play that video, I'll ask everybody to take a look, and then we'll sing together again these words and apply them to our experience of this natural disaster and the teachings it brings.
We watch the folds of mountains grow wider than the sky. Inner power, like the rainbow, arrives with every sigh. We watch the souls of humans so quickly passing by. Inner power, like the vine grows throughout our many lives. Hey, 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 hey. When souls speak with the mountains, we all take time to cry. Inner power, like the storm rolls, shown to every eye. We watch the waves of oceans
Thank you so much, Pamela, for all you do, especially for supporting us in these ways, in these sharing song days. And I ask you all to sing that song with me. I'll sing it slowly, and then we'll talk a little bit about your impression and your feeling of it at this point in time. Okay, so sing with me, unmute in whatever way you can. Let's bring our voices together in the healing frequency that heals the ancestral ways that we've lived through, as well as the storms in life and the natural disasters and the ways we are taught by nature about true dominion. That these mountains show us every day. So sing with me in whatever way you can, please. Sing in community, create a new frequency, a new vibration with where we are today, right now, together in this way. And everyone can unmute and sing. And we're not the all together now people. We're the weave and wonder and harmonize. And even if you just pick up one word and repeat it throughout the song, you're adding your voice, your frequency, your own ancestral healing energy to the song that came from the dream world. So join in that sound frequency healing energy that we're creating together today with me. And I'll remind you that it is our indigenous ways that created the vocables. This was so all people could sing together, even if they don't speak the same language. So we could come together in frequency and vibration and heal our spirit and our soul and our ancestrals in these ways that we're doing here today. So sing with me, please, in whatever we can, whatever way you're comfortable. I watch the folds of mountains grow wider than the sky. Inner power like the rainbow, all rise with every sigh. I watch the souls of humans so quickly passing by. Inner power like the vine grows throughout our many lives. Hey, 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 hey,
Hey, hey,
when souls speak with the mountains, we all take time to cry. Inner power like the storm rolls, shown to every eye. Hey, 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 we watch the waves of oceans, our arms are open wide. Rains, rivers, lakes, creeks, streams, and springs merge with every tide. We watch the moon and sun dance, hearts hear the old ones cry. Hands in hands, feet on earth with wings, living on this side. Hey, 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 Heya, 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 hey, hey, heya, 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 hey, heya, heya, hey. Heya, 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 hey, hey, heya, heya. When moon speaks with the oceans, flesh and bones all rise. Ancient mammals share emotions as we harmonize. Heya, 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 hey. Heya, 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 hey, 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 heya, heya.
Oops.
We watch time brew her potion, laughter and piercing cries, singing songs of our devotion, whispers silence life. Watch water, earth, air, and fire endlessly flowing by. Are we the ones we've waited for? We watch as time flies. Heya, 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 when time speaks with the elements, we all look deep inside, realize our human disguise has nothing really died. Heya, 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 heya,
Oh,
It's beautiful. The sun came out on that next to last Heya vocable when we all harmonized and came into frequency and healing energy. So beautiful when we can do that. Thank you all so much.
yeah.
Do you
What
want
is
to
the
talk
word you're
about
saying for the Heya part? Are you saying vocable or?
vocable? VOCABLES. It's a verb.
Okay.
Vocables.
Okay.
Yeah. So we all can sing together, create new frequencies and energies, even if we don't speak the same language or know the song or know
And
the
that's a
word.
lovely frequency of inclusion, isn't it?
It is,
You-
it is. Yes,
yeah.
it's our ancient, ancestral, traditional ways in this wave of humans where we all reach back and share ancestors. So feel that as we experience this today.
And this particular rhythm, it's very much not the frequency of a child, it's more of the frequency of a woman, this kind of rhythm, isn't it? Where you would have
Very
the
yin.
endurance, you would have the endurance to walk for miles with this rhythm, to find the
Yeah.
things you need to find, to actually
Yeah.
bring them home. It's got that kind of frequency to it that's very persistent, you know.
Yeah, it's strong. It's the feminine, and water is the feminine as well. And our ways were matrilineal. You know, we came out of the body of the woman. That is the power to bring forth life from the spirit world into this world. Do we want to talk about it a little more? Or do we want to sing it again?
Let's sing.
Okay, let's sing. We got about 10 more minutes. Let's sing it again. Put yourself into it. If you keep singing that vocable, it will fit right in with the rest of the words too. It's amazing. And Zoom's gotten a lot better at letting us sing together, fortunately. It's a lot easier and it sounds beautiful. So you guys just sing however you want to sing and let's do it together. I watch the folds of the mountains grow wider than the sky. Inner power like the rainbow, all rise with every sigh. I watch the souls of humans so quickly passing by. Inner power like the vine grows throughout our many lives. Heya, 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 when souls speak with the mountains, we all take time to cry. Inner power like the storm rolls, shown to every eye. Heya, 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 we watch the waves of oceans, our arms are open wide. Rains, rivers, lakes, creeks, streams, and springs merge with every tide. We watch the moon and sun dance, hearts hear the old ones cry.
Yeah.
Hands in hands, feet on earth with wings, living on this side. Heya, 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 when moon speaks with the ocean, flesh and bones all rise. Ancient mammals share emotions as we harmonize. Heya, 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 we watch time brew her potion, laughter and piercing cries, singing songs of our devotion, whispers silent lies. Watch water, earth, air and fire endlessly flowing by. Are we the ones we've waited for? We watch as time flies. Heya, 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 when time speaks with the elements, we all look deep inside. realize our human disguise as nothing really dies. Heya, heya,
Hey,
heya,
hey, hey,
heya,
hey,
heya, heya,
hey,
heya,
hey,
heya,
hey,
heya,
hey, hey,
heya,
hey,
heya,
hey,
heya,
hey,
heya,
hey,
heya, heya,
hey,
heya,
hey,
heya,
hey,
heya, heya,
hey,
heya,
hey, hey, hey.
So beautiful. Thank you all so very much
Yeah.
for joining in our voices in harmony, in song, and in integration. This is how we do integration with the music, with the song. And this is so important to avoid appropriation. When we come together like this and we experience our ancestral ways and we have an opportunity to talk about it in community, talk about our personal experience in community with the feedback of the community and the shared experience of the community, we deepen into these experiences and we don't need to appropriate, or we're not as likely to accidentally appropriate from the superficial experience where we don't get to discuss our experiences and our voices are not heard and our songs are not harmonized and joined together in the frequency of integration. So I'm grateful to all of you for joining in this today in this beautiful ancestral way. When our ancestors came together, they focused on food, shelter in the sunlight hours, and then they came to the fire and sang in these ways. And originally, they created the instruments that carried those vibrations and frequencies into the earth with the roots of the trees and everything, the stones that were here, and everything that held those frequencies and vibrations for us today as we join in these ways. So it's a very beautiful gathering today, and I thank you all for joining
Yeah.
in this way.
And there's a wonderful frequency that I'm picking up. I had to be late because I was in another grouping, but and this feeling of the dusk when you gather, I imagine, I mean, it's happened very rarely in my life, sitting around a fire at dusk, and it's like the lyrics that I heard, those words, was you share what you watched all day. You watch in the morning and you watch in the afternoon and you watch again with your eyes and with your senses, and then you gather together around a fire and then you share what it is you watched in nature and all about you and all the strength that comes with watching. I mean, that's in the West, they say artists sit and watch people walking by, or the sunlight or the sunset or the sunrise. So it's a very powerful frequency watching, isn't it? To be able to share that with another because nobody sees exactly the same thing. So there's a richness in sharing what you've watched that day and what you've maybe, understood from it.
Yes, thank you, Ursula.
Wado,
Merci, I'm Tsalagi. So thank you for asking, and thank you, Ursula, for sharing your experience. And we are out of time, but I'm happy to stay a little longer if anybody wants to add their voice to the integration, and then we'll ask Sylvia to play her flute and take us out with that sweet vibration from the original instruments. The drums came first, and then the flutes from the bones go back thousands of years, more than the 12 or 14,000 of this wave of humans, but back to many, many waves of humans. So thank you all, and thank you, SD, for taking us into this gathering in a good way and sharing traditional song and your teachings and understandings. And thank you all for being here in this beautiful way and adding your voices, bringing those voices together. So very grateful. And thank you, Pamela, for making it all work wonderfully and making it all come together in a beautiful, beautiful experience.
So I just want to say Wado, and I have to go.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
We
what
have
else?
a storm coming in that's going to be 4 days and leave 6 to 10 inches.
Oh
So
no.
I have to make a quick trip somewhere before the storm comes.
Oh yeah, preparations for those storms. Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
SD, and may you be blessed by this storm with kind, gentle lessons. Yeah,
Donut
thanks for
Doga
joining us.
Huntley. Bye-bye.
Donadoga Ani. Until again. Yes, thank you so much. November 12th, we'll see you again.
All right.
That's
Bye-bye.
next Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Where is
does
he
anyone,
that a storm is coming?
he's in Taos, New Mexico.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody have any more comments before Sylvia plays us out with some beautiful flute music?
Yeah, just that feeling, isn't it wonderful? What you see is so important to share. And just feel free to say it because nobody can see it through your eyes. Only you can. And how
Mhm.
valuable that is from one life to another.
Yeah, yeah, that is valuable. And the soul is where we hold those experiences from one life to another, and where we share as collective in this life that we're all in together. Yeah, the soul speaks to us in the dream world, just like it brought me this song in the dream world. And it speaks to the collective. It has that ability to speak to both the personal and the collective, the present and the eternal. So I strongly encourage everyone to connect with their soul and the soul of the music and the sound and the dream work. So I look forward to seeing you all again soon. If anyone else wants to comment, you're welcome, and Sylvia's going to play us out. Oh, thank you so much, Sylvia. And thank you all for being here, and I look forward to seeing you all again. Tonadoga Ani, until again next time. Yeah.
Ani.